I'm Tseliso Thipanyane, an advocate of the High Court of South Africa. I'm currently the chairperson of the Southern African Institute for Responsive and Accountable Governance. I'm also the former CEO of the South African Human Rights Commission. My interest in law began when I was a science student in Lesotho, and I actually wanted to transfer into law, but the university denied me permission until I finished my first degree. That's when I joined law. Partly because, I didn't want to spend the rest of my life looking at microscopes. I really wanted to be involved in social changes in society. Well, I did my Masters in UJ in corporate law in 2018. After many years in the Human Rights Commission, I was quite interested in issues of corporate governance, and UJ actually offered an LLM program which will suit my needs in doing corporate law. And my dissertation actually was on corporate political spending in terms of how companies then fund political parties and the need for better regulation in that area of law. I chose UJ for my master's degree in corporate law after having done my LLM in human rights at University of Western Cape and UCT, and my LLB in Lesotho. Partly the reason was that I was interested in corporate governance, and the UJ actually offered a good program in its LLM program, which will then allow me to pursue this interest of mine in corporate governance of public bodies and private bodies. I'm currently the chairperson of the Southern African Institute for Responsive and Accountable Governance, and what we are doing there is really to try and advance corporate governance in public and private institutions in the Southern African region. This is actually after I've just left the Human Rights Commission as a CEO for my second term at the end of May 2022. My UJ qualification has really helped me a lot. My dissertation for my master's was actually on corporate political spending, basically dealing with the lack of adequate regulation of how companies fund political parties and how then this undermines good governance. So it actually it was a step in the right direction as far as my long-term interest in promoting corporate governance across the board. I'm currently registering for a PhD on corporate governance of constitutional bodies, and therefore this is my journey going forward. But I'm also hoping, to teach issues around human rights, constitutional law, and corporate governance, hopefully even at UJ.
The University of Johannesburg, the future reimagined.